Hi, I wanted to talk about something that had been, kind of a feeling on my mind. I'm going to move the thing over, the video preview over to the side so it doesn't distract me because I wanted to talk directly to you. I wanted to share some feelings I've had. As you may know, I've been out of work for a while, and I wanted to talk about the feelings of the feelings of being out of work and um, also, something deeper, the feeling, I guess you could call it a midlife crisis. Um, the feeling that you haven't accomplished what you have. And this strikes home with me, right at my heart, because I, I've considered myself a smart person. It actually surprised me when years after college, people had told me that I was very smart, and I had high ambitions. To me, they weren't really high ambitions. It depends on how what you mean by high ambitions. I wanted to become a filmmaker and a television creator. Well, in childhood, I loved television and I love movies, so I had these ideas for TV shows. I wanted to write for television. I especially write for my favorite TV shows, and I did do that. I was precocious. I was full of ideas, and I also like to draw. I enjoy drawing very much, and I haven't drawn since probably high school, and I felt as though my my career goals were very clear, and forgive me for being slow, sort of. I'll try and speak and keep up the momentum of this video as much as I can, but these are difficult things to talk about. But that's exactly why I wanted to talk. I'm right now going to be 50 in November, which would be just about exactly a month from now, give or take one day. Um, so I thought I would be in a different world right now. Uh, I've thought of this for a while that the moment you're born, many of us are born already in an uphill battle for one reason or the other. Economically, is probably in my case, or there's some impediment that we have to overcome, and we spend some. I imagine many of us spend all of our lives trying to overcome that impediment. And there's a line that's coming up. Um, I'm I don't remember offhand who said it, but men lead lives of quiet desperation, meaning that they may not speak about it, but they are desperate. This is my interpretation. I think it's the correct one, but what he actually meant. But people, each of us, lives a life happy on the outside, jovial on the outside, but there's something, there's something lingering within us that we don't talk about or don't talk about very much, perhaps to our closest friends, um, about what we really want, and some of those goals don't become accomplished. And I want to live a life that's fully accomplished. I haven't gotten married. Um, I'm past the age. Well, I guess I'm not past the age of having kids. I guess I wouldn't be the one to bear the kid, but like produce the kid. Um, I suppose I'm still. Thankfully, I'm male, so I guess um, the expect the point when I can't can no longer the point when I no longer can is longer for me than it would be for a woman, but thankfully. But anyway, if I were in a different place, if I were, I'm Jewish, and if I were in a different location geographically, things would have been better. And I've been longing to be there, Los Angeles especially, but New York City, someplace where there's a larger Jewish population. My life would have been very different. And that bears mentioning now in context of me trying to get a job. I'd been working what I think of as subsistence wages. Um, I'm in a city that ranks ranks high in terms of certain degrees of poverty, and I and plus add on to that I didn't have a car until the past 5 years, and I take very good care of it. Basically, I was earning enough money to comfortably live, I guess, in an apartment, but I was generous to some degree, and somebody that I was friends with needed money, and I. It seems that I was doing the right thing. I don't know for certain whether I was doing the right thing or not, but at some point I reached the point I don't have anymore, and it's that was right around when I lost my job. I had been I was laid off in August, and suddenly, and my life has been administrative assistant, office assistant, um, part time sometimes, um, just like temporary job, temporary agency positions, and temporary agency placements, and so forth. And um, I don't want that anymore. And I feel as though sometimes I'm going to die not having accomplished that. And when I woke up this morning, I was feeling like that. So I want to talk about what I've been doing. Some of this has been on my other channel, uh, Samantha Bahar, my other YouTube channel. Um, I have been developing female impersonation, and that's motivated me to write music, and I figured if I couldn't express myself in writing in terms of film and TV, at least I could do it in terms of music, and I could develop that. And I developed a femme alter persona. I'm not a drag queen. I don't like that. There's a difference between drag queen and female impersonator. Female impersonator is somebody who tries to present as very authentic and very real, and more of an illusionist. And I thought of that as being like my interest in magic. I wanted to be, well, I don't know if I wanted to be. I pondered it when I was in college, or I think a little bit after college. I think it was a few years after college. I pondered being like a stage magician or stage illusionist, the kind of thing that David Copperfield has done. Those large scale illusions that fool in terms of what physics, what's possibly physics wise, what's possible physically. And so this relates to that. There's some wonderful female impersonators. Unfortunately, I tried to network locally. I can't really find anybody locally. I've reached out. I would reach out to, like, online to people in other states. A lot of them have died off. Um, it's a huge struggle emotionally too. It's a huge struggle to network. there's somebody who's still alive who made a career out of it that I respect very much. And this person responded back, which is nice, but it seems that the person doesn't do a lot of fan correspondence or a lot of correspondence, and I respect that. I mean, we each have our own lives. But I just watch these videos from shows like Donahue and Geraldo and Sally Jesse Raphael and so forth, who were really good, effective impersonators. And so I did hook up. See, I've been tutoring someone in Hebrew, and she mentioned a friend of hers, and I recently connected with this other person, and that's hopeful. And of course, I become giddy, and I look forward to all these different things, like connections he has, and opportunities, potential opportunities that may come about because of this new connection. And I've been using LinkedIn, for example, and Indeed to find work. And I have a lot of, I think very deeply. Anybody who knows me could tell that I think very deeply. And I'm very creative and imaginative. I've self-identified as an ENFP type, personality type. That's under the Myers-Briggs personality types, those 16 different types. And the ENFP, extrovert, intuition, no, extrovert, intuition, feeling, perception, fits me very well. Very much a people person, understanding the entire picture, dealing with with abstract ideas. Although I am detail oriented and I have a sharp memory, and I'm smart, very visual. Sometimes I want to share with you my resume, but I think of these different ideas, and I believe I suspect that I have what it takes mentally to accomplish these projects the way celebrities and big shakers of the world have, the way they do, what they have. But I don't have the resources, and that's what I was talking about with the uphill battle. I suppose wealthy people that are born into wealthy families have other uphill battles, perhaps personality-wise or family-wise, they have uphill battles. But anyway, I'm not in that. I only know what I've experienced in my own life. So I don't want to end this video and leave out certain things. I created a buy me a coffee account, which is separate from my regular banking account. I set up a different checking account just to handle the buy me a coffee account. I'll put the link in the description, and it's exclusively for developing the production value of this channel and the Samantha Bahar channel. I want to get a studio microphone. I've thought of, I have in mind a Shure MV7 or M7 Plus, one of those two. Depends on how you connect it to your computer or not. There are slight technical differences. And a teleprompter, so I'm not looking at the screen at my iMac right now while I do these videos. I want to up the production value. You know, I enjoyed watching TV. This comes from a guy who, as a child and through teenage years, valued the production, noticed the production techniques or production visuals in TV shows and in documentaries like Unsolved Mysteries and In Search Of. and Sightings. Extra points if you remember what the TV show Sightings was, or any of the other ones. I bet many of you would remember Unsolved Mysteries. I want to make this channel be something like that. I posted an earlier video in which I briefly showed a list of topics, video topics, and I want to come up with at least 12 different topics, which would make one full year. And I like the number 12. It's a symbolic number, and it's wholeness. It represents wholeness, so forth. When I woke up today, I just felt tired, and I feel as though I need to do more, and I'm being delinquent in what I'm doing, even though I do apply to several jobs each day. Maybe it's a matter of waiting. Perhaps that's it. I have been using Chat GPT to create a resume. Here's a word of advice or phrase of advice. I had become so sick of, some months ago, I'd become so sick of trying to remember all these jobs that I just began a work history master file, and then I lost track of that file. I think I have it somewhere. I think I know where it is. But anyway, I decided to create a new one, and I contacted the Social Security Administration to see if they could give me records, and I'm trying my best, and I just feel down right now. I woke up, I feel down. I feel like taking a sick day. Anyway, I created a work history file that I keep and I can retrieve, and I would submit it and tell ChatGPT to tailor this work history, create a resume that applies to this job. Because emotionally, when you create a resume for each job, it becomes tiresome. It did create one basic one for legal policy, another one for customer service, another one for this, another one for that, probably another one for entertainment or screenwriting or something. Excuse me. And for cover letters, I would write my own cover letters, and it became emotionally draining. It felt a lot like the other big goal that I feel that I haven't really accomplished in life, which is dating and finding a girlfriend and getting married. As I said, I'm Jewish, and I want to find someone Jewish. It's the only real mate that I feel comfortable with. And those of you who are not Jewish would likely not understand. I've been told by some people, and I've gotten the impression from some people, that their opinion is religion doesn't matter, but it does. It does. I wanted to celebrate Passover, Hanukkah, Yom Kippur, Rosh Hashanah. It's beyond just having family celebrations together. It had been having the idea of having a child, and if the child's mother is Jewish, automatically that child is recognized as a Jew by, I think, all of the different denominations of Judaism. There aren't that many major ones, and I guess that's kind of over now, unless I find a really young, like 30-year-old or something. But even that, maybe, I don't know, pushing it. But I don't know if what I would find in common, because I'm 20 years older. So I guess that's kind of over. I think about Captain Kirk in Star Trek, particularly. Well, I think of Captain Kirk in Star Trek and his optimistic attitude. And one element in Star Trek was this optimistic attitude just was in the series, or embodied or implied in the series. And I remember one moment in the movie Star Trek IV, The Voyage Home, where he's on a bus with there's a time travel element where they're in the 20th century in San Francisco, and he's on a bus with Spock, and there's this punk with a radio, and the punk is playing music very loud, and it's clearly disturbing everybody. And Kirk says, "Would you mind turning off that damn noise?" And what I particularly notice about that is that it's not so much the noise, it's what the song lyrics are. Here, Kirk and Spock have risked their own ship, have taken a dangerous journey to go back in time to get to humpback whales because in their current time, a probe is unknowingly ionizing the atmosphere and wreaking havoc on Earth. And basically, the survival of Earth is at stake. So they go back in time, and here he is listening to lyrics that say, "I hate you, I despise you. The only question we have is how many megatons," and so forth. It's very pessimistic, extraordinarily pessimistic. And when I see that, when I think of that moment in that scene, I think of Kirk saying, when he says, "Would you mind turning off that damn noise?" It's not so much the loudness as of the message. These messages, these lyrics blaring into his ears is throwing him off from keeping focused on saving the Earth. So anyway, I like to keep optimistic. I don't know how many, it's sad, I don't know how many people enjoy Star Trek anymore or understand Star Trek anymore. There's a friend that, I don't know if the friend has taken this advice, but I suggested at least sampling Star Trek, and I don't know if this person has or not, but I just thought I'd mention this in this video anyway. So I can't think of other things to mention, so I'll keep this to the point. I don't want to go on further than I need to, so perhaps I'll do another video later today. I just felt like talking and felt like sharing something. This channel is about, in part, psychology. So anyway, thanks. Hope to talk to you soon. Bye.